Hi, and I'm Sky, and I'm here to do the tarot reading for April the 5th to the 11th, 2021. So let's see what the cards want to tell us today. So, we are bang in the middle of Aries season, and Aries season is all about action, okay? So, this Aries season is also going to give us this firepower and assertive confidence, and through that will come clarity. So we like that. This is going to have this next week. Some old memories may come up, hurts from the past, painful realizations of things that connected to our past, or deep stuff that we haven't kind of got our head around yet, may rise up for us at this time. It's about stuff that we've not really processed. What are we holding on to that we've not really processed, that we kind of need to let go of? And also it's saying that, there's going to be things that we need to look at, how we can get through these things in our lives and our own personal story so that we can go on to different things. We're going to have a new moon on the 11th of April, which is going to be in Aries. This is about cosmic renewal. It's another chance basically to wipe the slate clean and for us to start again. It's about also setting new boundaries, and it's about bravery and confidence and courage and good judgment. So we take advantage of that opportunity for change and growth in that time. So this is a kind of a powerful month. April is a very powerful month. It's the start of the astrological calendar for the year. This is the first new moon on the 11th. In that time, it's basically a time of anything else that we've been keeping loose ends about, and we're going to be able to clear out that way so that we can bring all this beautiful stuff, and we've got this courage, good judgment, action in our lives to be able to do it. So this is kind of a powerful week. The only thing, like I said, we've got to look at this week is this deep wounded stuff that's coming up that we really need to work our way through and really be able to, come out of the other side so that we can really grow from it, and letting go of old notions, old ways, and also be able to, look at where some of this pain and some of this stuff that causes, us to behave the way that we do, or causes toxic reactions, to be able to be filtered through so that we can release ourselves from this bondage. So, so we're going to look at these cards now and see when the cards split and see what the cards want to tell for us today. Oh, there we go. So, as these cards all fell on the floor here we go. I'm going to just pull them straight up and show you what fell out here. So, there was the Judgment card, which is the card of rebirth. And in this card, this is the phoenix coming out of the ashes. So, it's basically, looking down and saying, rise up, rise up. It's time for us to start all new. And this is, again, a brave and fearless card. And basically say, I've got nothing to lose. I can wipe the slate clean and be reborn. We like that. This is part of our journey of the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is at that place halfway through the major arcana cards that is in the perfect sense of balance, but is upside down. All things come from the Hanged Man. It's the cul-de-sac. It's basically when we go into that cul-de-sac, we have exhausted all our avenues. There's no doorways to go from. We need to dump off or work through whatever it needs to do so we can come out in wisdom. So there's that cul-de-sac that's there. This King of Pentacles there, he is the king of the earth. He is our basic foundation. He keeps us safe. He keeps us protected. He grounds us so that we can grow. So he is the king of growth, basically, and he allows us, to be able to bear new fruit for the harvest. So we like that. Interesting, the Devil card. What are we holding on to? What are the chains that bind us? That's what the Devil's about. It's about temptation. It's about addictions. It's about isms. It's about the things that hold us back from source, from being the best that we can be. And in this card, there's all those chains there around that big chest, and he's reaching out to the light there. So what keeps us in the dark? So it's about cutting those chains and tying up loose ends. So what I think is really interesting about that is these cards that fell on the floor there. By tying up these loose ends, looking at what we need to be set free of. Because, you know, our basic foundation and our security comes from letting those things here go. We've exhausted our avenues. We're in the cul-de-sac. We have to come back out into our rebirth. So this is that deep stuff that I was telling you about. There's probably going to happen about the 9th. You know, I do look at the astrology before I pull the cards for the week and for the month. And basically this is saying this could come up about the 9th before, as we're getting ready to go into this new moon cycle, and the new moon will give us the ability to do that. So by looking at all these things and dumping off our stuff, it enables us to look at the things in our life that keeps us toxic or are holding us back, or the deep pain that we need to release ourselves from, that could even come from, you know, our childhood, or come from a place from deep within us. And tying up those loose ends so that we can be the best that we can be. So I really like that. I like that idea, because that going and doing that self-inventory on ourselves and recognizing those things, you know, like I said, they could go right back to our childhood. They could be parts of ourselves that are connected to old habits, old notions that we tend to do when we want to numb out, when we don't want to deal with things. And we may have been doing them for so long that it's part of our second nature. And it's those things that when we root up are painful and make us act out in the way that we do. So this basically is, as we're looking forward here, what I'm liking about this situation is we've got the 2 of Wands and we've got 3 of Wands next to each other. And he looks into the future and he's got that beautiful world. He's saying, okay, you know, what am I looking forward to in the future? I've got the world, you know, in my hand. I can do whatever I want to do. And this basically is saying through all this new growth, we've got these new ships coming in here, which would have been the merchant ships bringing in the booty. So this is like bringing in good things. So he's saying, looking out, what have I got? What do I want to manifest? What do I want my life to be to be like? Healing, you know, that dark place. So when we go to that dark place, which is where we cut those etheric threads of those toxins, which are our addictions, our isms, and those things that hold us back from the light, you know, that's the time where we can lay down and we can heal, and that's that dark place. Because, you know, as he looks at all this spilt down there, he has to notice there's 2 cups upright, and then at the other side of this bridge over here is a beautiful abundant land, and this is a healing period of time where we feel safe and secure. Communication, a lot of healing, communicating with people. That's not necessarily on a negative level. That's not saying that you have to argue with people. You know, self-care, part of the time, is not arguing with people that you can't, you know, you can't change somebody's mind by arguing with them. If they don't agree with you, or they're not going to think along you, arguing with them is just going to waste your energy. So part of that self-care is knowing when to walk away from that. And this is about communication and on a higher level, and finding that balance. You know, this is a legal card, can be to do with the justice or paperwork, but she carries the sword of truth and she has the balance of the scales there. And so this can be also an internal balance within ourselves, of coming to that internal harmony, especially when it comes to matters of our safety, security, the beautiful family there stood with the rainbow and the cups around them. So this is having, you know, being truthful to ourselves, knowing where we find our own happiness, being peaceful within our things, and letting a lot of this stuff, like I said, go, or looking at what, you know, stops us from this growth or moving forward, or allowing ourselves to create a new reality for ourselves. And this is about the Empire. So I think that this is going to be a very powerful week. I think that if we get the lesson this week and really look at this stuff, it's going to give us the ability to dump it off with the Hanged Man, and, you know, open our wings like the phoenix, because this is our Empire and he is the Lord of the land. He's, you know, he owns the, he gives us that safety, security. He looks after our earthly goods, and he runs business. You know, he's connected to business. So, you know, in saying that, the Emperor, and is a nice way of rounding it up. This is about work. This is about the empire. This is about our Wheel of Fortune turning here in a positive way, you know, and I've been saying this a lot lately. We've been given the ability in 2021, when we look at the Wheel of Fortune, which is, you know, it's a wheel, and that's transformation. We can be on the outside of it, turning like the Wheel of Fortune, and we can be looking at all these different things that are going on and being in this transformation, or we can be on a hamster wheel, and that kind of choice is up to us. So this is basically saying, looking at our abundance, looking at our work, looking at our empire, and looking at the Wheel of Fortune turning, and how we're going to change the things in our lives that are no longer working for us into a positive forward motion. So powerful week, guys. You know, this is from April the 5th to the 11th, going into that beautiful new moon in Aries, which is going to allow us the ability to just wipe the slate clean and be able to start again, but hopefully the week before, learning the lessons that we need to learn, so we can let go of some of these etheric threads that keep us down. Thank you. Namaste.